This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater systems before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. This is KI0AR. Does anyone need to use the repeater systems before I begin this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net? Please go ahead now. Calling the Colorado Astronomy Net, calling the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR. My name is Bernice, and I'll be your net control for this evening's Colorado Astronomy Net. Just a reminder, the 3-minute timeout function is still in effect, so during long transmissions, please allow the repeater systems to reset themselves. Also, please use the word break for emergency or prior to traffic. If there is any emergency or prior to traffic, please go ahead now. Okay, nothing heard. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 0100 Zulu on Wednesdays, to discuss topics of an astronomical nature, what's up in the night skies for the week, any other special events that may be of interest to the amateur radio astronomy enthusiasts around the world. Also, this is one of the few nets where your check-in does count. I tally up the numbers and send them off to JPL at the end of each month. Counts as part of their outreach to the general public, of which we are a part. So all check-ins are definitely appreciated. I take check-ins several ways. If you have NetLogger, I will get you on the list as soon as I see your call sign pop up in the AIM window. Or you can just let me know you're checking in there. That's the easiest way. I take them over the air, of course, and I will take them via email, or tonight we are also on YouTube, so under the same name, the Colorado Astronomy Net. Any of you that have YouTube can let me know how that is coming through. I do not know. Was not here the last several weeks and had some audio issues last week, so hopefully everything is coming up okay. Right now I'm going to go ahead and acknowledge the several check-ins on NetLogger. Go ahead and acknowledge Rip, K3XO, thanks for checking in tonight. Moy, N5ZIQ, thanks for checking in tonight. Ken, NV7SS, thanks for checking in tonight. Dave, AF0AS, thanks for checking in tonight. And Nick, KF000Q, thanks for checking in tonight. I tried a little bit earlier to open up the net over on the Wires X side, and it didn't look like I was transmitting, so I'm over on the analog side tonight. So I don't know how the digital is working, but I guess we'll find out momentarily. Right now, I'll go ahead and call on anyone wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net. Please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
make 1 Delta Echo Alpha, make 1 Delta Echo Alpha. Come on. Whiskey 6 Romeo Delta Zulu, Whiskey 6 Romeo Delta Zulu. Ernest, your weak audio on Echo.
Okay, looks like he's got an open mic there. You got to remember to hit that transmit button on Echo Link.
Time out. Launch your transmit. Time out. Reset.
This is KI0AR net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Ah. Hey, Ed. Hello, Ed.
This is Whiskey 4 Alpha Tango Yankee W.
Yes, that was an open mic. Ed had a, I guess I was able to kill it by actually giving him a phone call. So I'll have to remember that in the past. Yeah, he was on Echolink and forgot. Those of you who are on Echolink, be sure to hit that transmit button a second time so that you disconnect and go back into receive mode. All right, where was I? Got some new calls on the list as well. So those of you who are new to the Colorado Astronomy Net, thanks for that. There's several of you. Right now, where was I? I said hey to Dave. Nick, KF000Q, thanks for checking in tonight. Derek up in Minnesota, yeah, that's it, KF0UIF, thanks for checking in tonight. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see, got a question for you in just a sec, so hopefully you can, you're still there. Graham, we got you on the list. MM1DEA, thanks for checking in tonight. Ed, W6RDZ, thanks for checking in tonight. Ed, be sure to disconnect from Echolink when you finish transmitting there. I do appreciate that. Western Malaysia, ZW1, excuse me, ZW2, ZSH, Zainal. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Hopefully you are listening in. I saw your call sign pop up on NetLogger, so welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Alton, W4ATY, thanks for checking in tonight. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net as well. And then Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. For the new stations, my name is Bernus. That's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, and the call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Quick background on the Astronomy Net. Been doing the net for over 29 years. Been on the Skyhub Link system for a little about 2.5. So reaching worldwide. The way we work is I'm obviously taking some check-ins, got some quick announcements, got some local astronomical news, got some bulletins and a rocket report. And then after that, I like to go down the list and chat with everybody that's checked in. Looking for observational reports, questions, anything, any. Any topics that you'd like to talk about astronomy-wise. So hopefully you guys can stick around. My question to the three new check-ins, Derek, Zainal, and Alton, what your interest, background in astronomy is, whether you're just starting out, you've been doing it for decades like I have, whether it's professional or amateur. Mine's all amateur, so there you go. Just like to find out where my experience is or who's out there learning. This is a learning net, and I will be the first to admit that I learn something every time I do the net myself. So there you go. Derek, KF0UIF, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Tell us a little bit about your interest, background in astronomy. Go ahead. Oh, yeah, that's much better. John. That's still a new call on the list. So, John, apologies. KF0UIW, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead.
Well, good evening. My first name is John, and my dad's got the same name, so I go by Tom, my middle name. I'm a graduate of the United States Naval Academy, and I have an astronautical engineering degree from there. Professional pilot now, work for an airline.
All right, John, I appreciate that. Yeah, if you want a QSL card or something like that for the first time, first contact, first net, yeah, definitely. I'll help you out and get you started for sure. And welcome to the net, and appreciate you signing into the net tonight. Yeah, our Naval Academy, cool. I'm ex-Navy myself, so thanks for that. Thanks for your service as well. I am now retired. Let's see. Hopefully you can stick around and join us for the rest of the net. Next, Western Malaysia, Zainal, I do believe, 9W2 ZSH popped up listening out there. Do appreciate that. If you can hear us and participate, certainly would like to hear what your interest background in astronomy is. Go ahead. 9W2 ZSH. Go ahead, please.
Okay, Roger, thank you very much. KI0AR, this is Nano Whiskey 2, listening. Thank you very much for picking me up, appreciate that. Yeah, this is the first time I'm listening to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Very interesting. And looking at the net logger, I heard about it and how I can join the net with it. Very interesting. I'm just thought about astronomy things and looking and then just learning pretty much. I was talking to one of the friends in Pennsylvania yesterday, and he said that he can see the aurora on the north of America, so that's interesting. So also listening if anyone has seen that or what's happening. Very much. So thank you very much again. I really appreciate you picking me up, and thank you. I'm going to continue to listen. KI0AR. This is Nano Whiskey 2 Zulu Delta from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Back to the net.
All right, fine business, Zainal. I definitely appreciate checking around all the way around, halfway around the world. So it's probably 7 in the morning or somewhere near there. So welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. I do appreciate you checking in tonight for sure. Alton, W4, ATY, and Georgia. Good evening to you, Alton. And also, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Tell us a little bit about your background interest in astronomy. Go ahead. All right, Alton, we got you on the list anyway. So welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see, Roy, KI7PKL, thanks for checking in tonight. Dale, another one checking in via NetLogger. So welcome, Dale. That's a new call on the list. At least I'm looking at my database here and seeing that's new. My name is Bernice. That's Bravo Uniform Romeo November Echo Sierra Sierra. Call sign Kilowatt India 0 Alpha Romeo. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Tell us a little bit about your interest and background in astronomy there, Dale, whether you're just starting out or you've been doing it for decades or somewhere in between. Please go ahead. right, Dale. Thanks for that. We've got some experience on there, and yeah, like I said, I cater to all levels of experience, and hopefully, hopefully, I will answer any questions that anybody has, and I do appreciate the experience out there that I do have in my other check-ins as well, because sometimes they even correct me, and have their own interest they like to share with the net. So hopefully you can stick around. We'll probably run, let's see, running a little bit behind, but I'll see if I can catch up here. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll look for check-ins a little bit later on. If you do have NetLogger, certainly hop on that and I'll get you checked in right away. There won't be any problems there, but or send me an email, ki0ar@ki0ar.com, and let me know you're out there listening on certainly hop on that. Just a minute, there we go. Okay, I'm looking at, what am I looking at? I'm looking here. All right, we got it. We got James on YouTube out there listening. Let me get his call sign in here. KD4GCL. Thanks for checking in via YouTube. I do appreciate that. And that's another new call on the list. So thanks for that, James. And yeah, we had somebody that had an open mic over on Echolink, but I was able to kill that. Luckily, I know his phone number, and when when I called him up, it broke the link. So there's a little something that that I just learned about Echolink. If you know the person's number, give them a call, especially if they've got that transmit locked up. Luckily, he was doing it on his phone, so there you go. All right, I'm going to let this thing drop and then get into some announcements and the local astronomical news. After the local astronomical news, I'll take some more check-ins. All right, this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I publish a monthly astronomy newsletter via email and the World Wide Web. If you wish to subscribe to the email version of my newsletter, please send me an email to ki0ar@ki0ar.com and request to be put on the list. Or you may visit the website at www.ki0ar.com/astro.html. And at the top of the web page is also a spot where you may submit your email address and get subscribed to the email version of the newsletter as well. If you don't want to remember all that, just Google my call sign, KI0AR. You'll find a whole bunch of links, including links to the newsletter and the web page. I also volunteer with a youth group called the International Association for Astronomical Studies, a youth group that meets out in Strasbourg, Colorado on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Always looking for new members, freshmen through senior high school age students interested in astronomy, amateur radio, high-power rocketry, remote control aircraft flying, full-scale aircraft construction, archaeoastronomy, radio astronomy, and balloon launch communications. More than welcome to visit our website at www.iaas.org for more information, or you may visit us on Facebook under the same name, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Also a reminder that the Colorado Astronomy Net also has a Facebook page. So if you have Facebook, be sure to hop on there and like us both. Also, the International Association for Astronomical Studies has a call sign. Their club call sign is Kilo Zero Alpha Alpha Sierra. That's K0AAS. And if you hear that, be sure to hop on there and find out a little bit more, especially on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Mountain Time. you may be able to contact one of the students and say, hey, and get them on the air as well. They've got a lot going on, and they'd love to talk about that too if you can catch them. Let's see. One more announcement after I let this thing reset. For those of you who may be interested in flight simulations, you may want to check out Jack's YouTube channel, Captain Jack Flight Sim, CAPNJACKFLTSIM, on Mondays and Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time. This week he is on vacation and will be returning next week, so we will not have any flight simulations this week, but you can check out his YouTube channel and look for some of his past flights. He does interesting, he's a former DJ as well, and gets on there and plays some tunes while we're just chatting about flight simming and amateur radio, things like that. So hopefully you can join us. I like to join them when I can as well. So that's Wednesday nights, 6:30 on YouTube. That's it for the announcements. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And John, we got you on the list. W2JLS, thanks for checking in tonight. Let's see. Checked in via NetLogger, so like I said, I'll get you right on the list as soon as I see you pop on there. So there you go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get into the local astronomical news for June, a new month. So a new newsletter, new information, all that kind of neat stuff. And just a note for the new people on here, astronomy is good worldwide, pretty much. Some of the times I give will be pretty close for rising and set times. You're still going to see the moon. Those in the southern hemisphere will have slightly different viewpoints. And I always love to hear those viewpoints for sure from down under. But I'll start off with the phases of the moon. We got our first quarter moon, it was yesterday. We got a full moon coming up on the 11th, last quarter moon on the 18th, and a new moon on the 25th. The moon will be at apogee, its farthest point away from the Earth this month, on the 8th. It will be 251,999 miles from Earth. The moon will be at perigee, its closest approach to the Earth this month, on the 23rd. It will be 225,668 miles from Earth. Planetary highlights for June. The innermost planets straddle nighttime, with Mercury in the evening and the greatest western elongation of Venus in the morning. Actually, that occurred on the 31st. Jupiter joins Mercury in early twilight for a few evenings, both setting quickly. Distant Mars lingers with Leo after dark as our own planet hustles along its orbit well ahead of the red planet. Saturn is visible in the early hours as Neptune hangs nearby and is in conjunction with the red planet on the 29th. Uranus reappears in the morning sky before dawn. And this excerpt is from Astronomy Magazine, June 2025, page 28. On with the individual planets. Mercury sets at 8:41 p.m. on the 1st and about 10:03 p.m. by month's end. Mercury is visible about 30 minutes after sunset, just above the western horizon. Mercury moves from the constellation of Taurus into Cancer, shining at magnitude 0.3 on the 30th. So actually, get out there early this month and see if you can catch Jupiter and Mercury very, very close to each other and very, very low to the western horizon. Like on the 8th, hopefully you'll have some clear skies for that. Venus rises about 3:28 a.m. on the 1st and about 2:59 a.m. by month's end. I look for Venus to the east about an hour before sunrise. Venus moves from the constellation of Pisces into Taurus, shining at magnitude minus 4.3 on the 15th. And for the Earth, the summer solstice occurs at 10:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on the 20th. So after the solstice, the nights will start to get longer and the days will start to get shorter, at least in the northern hemisphere. And in the southern hemisphere, it's their winter solstice. So their days will start getting longer as their evenings get shorter. Mars sets at 12:53 a.m. on the 1st and about 11:34 p.m. by month's end. Look for Mars to the southwest in the evening. Mars is in the constellation of Leo, shining at magnitude 1.4. And we have Jupiter will be in conjunction with the Sun on the 24th. Jupiter sets at 9:35 p.m. on the 1st. After conjunction, Jupiter returns to the morning sky, rising about 5:16 a.m. by month's end. Jupiter is rapidly approaching the western horizon as the month progresses, or as, actually in these next couple of weeks. So get out during the first 2 weeks of June to catch Jupiter before it sets. Jupiter moves from the constellation of Taurus into Gemini, shining at magnitude minus 1.9. Next we have Saturn rising about 2:28 a.m. on the 1st and about 12:33 a.m. by month's end. Look for Saturn low to the east before sunrise. Saturn is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 1.1. And then we have Uranus rising about 4:52 a.m. on the 1st and about 2:59 a.m. by month's end. Look for Uranus to the east before sunrise, very low to the horizon. Uranus is in the constellation of Taurus, shining at magnitude 5.8. You'll notice that quite a few of these planets are in the constellation of Taurus or moving there. So definitely check Taurus out for sure. And here's our transition from naked eye objects to those that you will need binoculars or a telescope for. Then let's see. That is determined by the magnitude. Quick tutorial on magnitudes. It's an inverse logarithmic scale, meaning as the magnitudes increase in number, the apparent brightness of an object decreases by a factor of about 2.5. The dimmest object that the human eye can see under optimum conditions, meaning dark skies, away from city lights, things like that, is 6th magnitude. So any magnitude less than 6, such as a magnitude 5 object, is 2.5 times brighter than a magnitude 6 object, and so on and so forth, as you decrease in magnitude. When we get into the negatives, of course, those are very bright objects and easily spotted with the naked eye. Anything greater than 6, such as Neptune, at magnitude 7.8, will require binoculars or a telescope to spot. So a magnitude 7 object is 2.5 times dimmer than a magnitude 6 object. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing, Neptune rises at 2:27 a.m. on the 1st and about 12:33 a.m. by month's end. So you'll notice right there, Neptune is within a minute of Saturn. So those two objects should be visible, possibly within the same field of view at night. So they're fairly close together right now. Look for Neptune to the east following Saturn by just a couple of minutes all month. Neptune is in the constellation of Pisces, shining at magnitude 7.8. For dwarf planets, we have Ceres rises at 3:13 a.m. on the 1st and about 1:39 a.m. by month's end. Ceres can be spotted low to the southeast before sunrise. Ceres is in the constellation of Cetus, shining at magnitude 9.2. Then we got Pluto, rises at 12:04 a.m. on the 1st, about 10:01 p.m. by month's end. Pluto can be spotted before sunrise to the south. Pluto is in the constellation of Capricornus, shining at magnitude 15.2. As always, good luck at spotting Neptune, Ceres, and Pluto. A large telescope and dark skies will be needed. And if you're out there looking for Pluto, you'll need at least a 12-inch telescope, or 12-inch, meaning the mirror on the telescope is about 12 inches in diameter or greater to spot that. My 8-inch telescope maxes out at about 12th magnitude, so Pluto is three magnitudes dimmer than what my scope can handle. Meteor showers. We got several meteor showers that are of interest to amateur radio operators for sure. The Arietids meteor showers. This is the strongest daylight meteor shower of the year. The duration extends from May 22nd through July 2nd, with maximum activity occurring on June 8th. The hourly rate is near 60 at maximum. The June lyrids. This shower is active during June 10th through 21st, producing predominantly blue and white meteors at a maximum hourly rate of 8 per hour on the 15th. The average magnitude of this shower is near 3, while 32% of the meteors leave trains. The Zeta Perseids. This daylight shower occurs during May 20th to July 5th. Maximum occurs on June 13th. Radar surveys have revealed the activity of this shower to be near 40 per hour. And then ending up the month, we got June Bootids. This shower is currently active during June 27th to July 5th and possesses a maximum of activity that falls on the 28th. The shower is notable in that its meteors are primarily faint with an average magnitude near 5. However, bright meteors do occur regularly. The significance of these daylight Perseid meteor showers is here's an opportunity to see if you can actually do some meteor scatter communications on the ham bands while you're wide awake, as opposed to sometime between midnight and sunrise in the early morning hours, which is usually when most of the meteor showers peak in the early morning hours. But these two, the Arietids and the Zeta Perseids, are daylight meteor showers, which will give you a good chance of maybe hearing some meteor scatter communications. And I do have a link provided by Terry, W0ASP, on a meteor reception how-to document. And some more explanation on meteor scatter communications. So you may want to check that out. And that's on the webpage and in the newsletter. Actually, I will go ahead, and for those of you who do have NetLogger, I'll post that link on the NetLogger. Actually, I'll post that link on both NetLogger and YouTube. Let's see. So you can check that out. There's that, and there's that. All right, there we go. Either way, you can find that out. And we're still keeping an eye on Comet 29P. Swashman Watchman 1 is still in the constellation of Leo this month and may glow around 11th magnitude. So this is another one that's pushing it for some of the larger scopes. Look for the comet during the last 2 weeks of the month when the moon will not interfere with observing. An 8-inch scope or better will be needed well away from city lights to spot this elusive object. So it's still there, but it's going to be dim. It's got a very small fuzzball to spot. And that's it for the local astronomical news. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and pause here to see if there are any more check-ins for tonight's net. Anyone else wishing to check in to tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice.
Whiskey Zero Delta Papa Charlie. Whiskey Zero Delta Papa Charlie. Over.
Okay, I heard a double in there. Donald, you won. W0DPC, thanks for checking in tonight. The other station that was trying to check in, please come back with your call sign phonetically twice.
Kilo Hotel 6, Hotel Alpha Mike. King Henry 6, Hotel Alpha Mike, San Antonio.
Hey, Sam. I thought I recognized, well, I don't recognize the call, but I recognize the name, I do believe. Is that a new call there, Sam? KH6HAM? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, Roger, got it back in April. Yep, formerly WH6GBN. So, yep. Thanks for checking in there. Back to you. Kilo Hotel 6, Hotel Alpha Mike.
All right, Sam. That's Sam. You got ham in there. All right. I won't rhyme anymore. Definitely a neat call sign there. Kind of like mine with amateur radio there. So it works out. Congrats on the new call there, Sam. And thanks for letting me know that it is a new call there. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Got some bulletins for you this evening. Let's see. I'll go ahead and put up one of my favorite websites for tracking the ISS. That website is www.heavens-above.com. That's www.heavens-above.com. And the reason I like this particular website is if you click on a particular, I'm going to go here. Let me see that. All right, that's better. That's much better. Get rid of some of these ads there. Don't need that. Don't need that. There we go. Is if you do click on a particular ISS pass, it gives you a nice star chart. Right now, there are no visible passes over the Denver area for the next 10 days. So this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like during the day pass. You can see it relative to where the sun is. So there you go on that. But normally you'd see a nice star chart. Let me go back and see if I can find one that's on there. Here's another one that shows you the stars and a very short pass on this one. So again, that website for your particular area, www.heavens-above.com, and you can click on the date or the pass of interest and pull up a nice printable 8.5 by 11 star chart of what your of the particular pass that you're looking for. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I got another bulletin for you for, let's see, dated May 28th from Science Daily. I thought this was kind of interesting since it combines radio and astronomy. So here you go. Cosmic mystery deepens as astronomers find object flashing in both radio waves and X-rays. Astronomers from the International Center for Radio Astronomy Research, or ICRAR, in collaboration with international teams, have made a startling discovery about a new type of cosmic phenomenon. The object, known as ASKAP, A-S-K-A-P, J1832-0911, emits pulses of radio waves and X-rays for 2 minutes every 44 minutes. This is the first time objects like these, called long period transients or LPTs, have been detected in X-rays, as astronomers hope it may provide insights into the sources of similar mysterious signals observed across the sky. The team discovered ASKAP J1832-0911 by using the ASKAP radio telescope on Wajarri country in Australia, owned and operated by Australia's National Science Agency, or CSIRO. They correlated the radio signals with X-ray pulses detected by NASA's Chandra X-ray Observatory, which was coincidentally observing the same part of the sky. Discovering that ASKAP J1832-0911 was emitting X-rays felt like finding a needle in a haystack, said lead author Dr. Zitang, or Andy Yang, from the Curtin University node of the ICRAR. The ASKAP radio telescope has a wide field view of the night sky, while Chandra observes only a fraction of it. So it was fortunate that Chandra observed the same area of night sky at the same time. LPTs, which emit radio pulses that occur minutes or hours apart, are a relatively recent discovery. Since their first detection by ICRAR researchers in 2022, 10 LPTs have been discovered by astronomers across the world. Currently, there is no clear explanation for what causes these signals or why they switch on and switch off at such long, regular, and unusual intervals. This object is unlike anything we have seen before, Dr. Wang said. ASCAP J1831-0911 could be a magnetar, the core of a dead star with powerful magnetic fields, or it could be a pair of stars in a binary system where one of the two is a highly magnetized white dwarf, a low-mass star at the end of its evolution. ASCAP J1831-0911 could be, let's see, oh, I just read that. Sorry about that. However, even those theories do not fully explain, excuse me. However, even those theories do not fully explain what we are observing. This discovery could indicate a new type of physics or new models of stellar evolution. Detecting these objects using both X-rays and radio waves may help astronomers find more examples and learn more about them. According to the second author, Professor Nanda Ray, from the Institute of Space Sciences, CSIC, and Catalan Institute for the Space Studies, IEEC, in Spain, finding one such object hints at the existence of many more. The discovery of its transient X-ray emission opens fresh insights into their mysterious nature. What was also truly remarkable is that this study showcases an incredible teamwork effort with contributions from researchers across the globe with different and complementary expertise, she said. The discovery also helps narrow down what the objects might be. Since X-rays are much higher energy than radio waves, any theory must account for both types of emission. A valuable clue, given their nature, remains a cosmic mystery. The paper, Detection of X-ray Emission from a Bright Long-Period Radio Transient, was published overnight in Nature. ASCAP J1832-0911 is located in our Milky Way galaxy about 15,000 light years from Earth. And that's it for that bulletin. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Okay, time for the rocket report. It did sound like Ed was fairly busy earlier. So I will go ahead and give the rocket report for this evening. The rocket report covers the period of May 27th through June 9th. Last week's launches, we had 9 launch attempts the past week, including the Starship Test Flight 9. 2 China, 5 SpaceX, 4 of those Falcon 9, 1 Rocket Lab from New Zealand, and 1 suborbital crewed flight by Blue Origin in Texas. The big one, SpaceX successfully launched Starship Test Flight 9 today, Tuesday, actually last week, Tuesday, May 27th at 17:36 Mountain Daylight Time. This is a little bit of a recap from last week. Test Flight 9 was an exciting mix of success and failures. The liftoff was a spectacular success following 2 brief holes at T minus 40 seconds. The first for an engine chill issue, and the second due to a ground equipment issue. Both quickly resolved, and a spectacular liftoff commenced with all 33 Raptors lit. Starship flew nominally, followed by most engine cutoff MECO main engine cutoff, MECO, and perfect staging. Changes to the inner stage venting worked, and the first stage flipped back cleanly and vertically as designed. This marked the first reuse of a Starship booster. The only other rocket to reuse a propulsively recovered booster is SpaceX's Falcon 9. The booster then relit engines and boosted back for a splashdown in the Gulf. The booster took on a very steep angle of attack to induce maximum stress on the test vehicle. Nearing the Gulf, the booster relit center engines for a water landing, but immediately exploded. The RUD is speculated to have been caused by either engine damage or structural failure due to the extreme experimental angle of attack. Meanwhile, back at Starship's upper stage, the ship continued nominally to second stage cutoff, or SECO. This was the first version 2 Starship to successfully reach SECO. From here, it was downhill for the ship. Fuel leaks caused a loss of attitude control, and the ship tumbled end over end and thus burned up on re-entry over the Indian Ocean. Ironically, even the payload door failed to open for the second time, a reference test flight 3, and no version 3 Starlink satellite blanks were deployed. The worst part of the re-entry failure is that this is the third test flight to not return any data on the performance of all the new heat shield changes. Oh well, on to test flight 10 coming soon. On Wednesday, May 28th at 7:30 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX launched Starlink Group 10-32 on a Falcon 9 from Kennedy Space Center, Florida. 27 high-speed internet satellites to reach low Earth orbit. It was Booster B1080's 19th flight and SpaceX's 64th mission of 2025. Later, Wednesday, May 28 at 11:31 Mountain Daylight Time, China successfully launched the Tianwen-2 mission on a Long March 3B/E rocket from the Xichang Satellite Launch Center. Tianwen-2 is a near-Earth asteroid sample return mission. It will target near-Earth asteroid 469219 to collect about 1,000 grams from its surface and return it to Earth in about 2.5 years. And for the third launch, Wednesday, May 28th, China successfully launched a Long March 4B rocket from the Jiuquan Satellite Launch Center, China at 22:12 Mountain Daylight Time. The rocket boosted the Shijian 26 mission to Sun synchronous orbit. The Shijian 26 is a Chinese experimental satellite claimed to be for Earth observation and environmental purposes. Friday morning, May 30th at 11:37 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX successfully launched the GPS-3 SV-08 mission on a Falcon 9 from Cape Canaveral, Florida. This is a third-generation U.S. GPS satellite headed to medium Earth orbit. For the Air Force, GPS-3 SV-08 was originally scheduled to launch on a ULA Vulcan rocket, but was reassigned to the Falcon 9. It was a beautiful sunny launch, and SpaceX continued live coverage up through payload deployment. Blue Origin launched another 6 space tourists on a suborbital hop above West Texas. Saturday morning at 07:39 Mountain Daylight Time, the New Shepard rocket successfully launched from Corn Ranch, West Texas. It was a beautiful launch. Saturday, May 31st, SpaceX launched the Starlink 11-18 mission from a foggy Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. The Falcon 9 took 27 Starlink satellites to join the mega constellation in Leo. Yesterday, Monday, June 2nd at 22:43 Mountain Daylight Time, Rocket Lab successfully launched the Full Steam Ahead mission on an Electron Curie rocket from the Mahia Peninsula, New Zealand. The Electron rocket took the Black Sky Technologies Gen 3 Earth imaging satellite to low Earth orbit. This is Mission 2, or the second Gen 3 satellite to join the constellation. The Gen 3 satellites have 50-centimeter resolution and host multiple sensors, including shortwave infrared. The launch was the 7th Electron launch of 2025 at Rocket Lab's 65th launch overall. And there is a link in the rocket report that you can rewatch the launch. SpaceX successfully launched Starlink Group 12-19 from Cape Canaveral yesterday, June 2nd at 22:43 Mountain Daylight Time. The Falcon 9 placed another 23 Starlink satellites into Leo, launching from Cape Canaveral, Florida. It was Booster 1077's 21st flight, SpaceX's 501st mission, and the 500th SpaceX Falcon family launch. Next week, 4 launches are on the upcoming docket for, for next week, all SpaceX. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Continuing tomorrow, Wednesday, June 4th at 17:35 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX expects to launch Starlink Group 11-22 from Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. 27 Starlink launches, satellites will make it to the constellation. Will be well, that's kind of all right. Let's have to change that up a little bit. It will be the 123rd orbital launch attempt worldwide of 2025. Friday, June 6th at 21:19 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX is on the docket to launch SXM-10 mission on a Falcon 9 launching from Cape Canaveral, Florida. SXM-10 is the 11th high-power digital audio radio satellite built by Maxar SSL for SiriusXM. SXM-10 has a large mesh unfurlable reflector almost 10 meters in diameter. The SXM-10 satellite is headed to geostationary transfer orbit. Sunday, June 8th at 07:34 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX scheduled to launch Starlink Group 15-8 on a Falcon 9 departing Vandenberg Space Force Base, California. Monday, June 9th at 06:46 Mountain Daylight Time, SpaceX plans to launch the Axiom Mission 4, or AX-4, on a Falcon 9 from Kennedy Space Center, Florida. AX-4 is Axiom Space's fourth crew rotation to the International Space Station aboard a SpaceX Crew Dragon. The crew will be composed of Commander Peggy Whitson, former NASA astronaut, Shubhanshu Shulka of India, Slavos Yuznansky of Poland, and Tibor Kapu of Hungary. This will be India and Poland's first crewed trip to the ISS. Other news and upcoming events. The Japanese Hakuto R-M2 Resilience, a lunar lander, is on track for a moon landing at 13:24 Thursday, June 5th in the Mare Frigoris. The lander successfully entered lunar orbit May 7th and successfully circularized the lunar orbit May 28th and is ready to land. Resilience was launched on a Falcon 9 January 15th, 2025. And that's it for the Rocket Report for this evening. Rocket Man Ed wishes you a good night and nominal flight. Now back to Starman Burness, KI0AR, net control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. And okay, there's a couple of postings on AIM window. Good night, Rip and Graham. Thanks for checking in tonight, you two. Appreciate it. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'll go ahead and take some more check-ins before I go down the list. Anyone else wishing to check into tonight's Colorado Astronomy Net, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Okay, good evening to you, Brian, W0HOF. Thanks for checking in tonight. That's a new call on the list, looks like. So welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. My name is Burness. That's Bravo, Uniform, Romeo, November, Echo, Sierra, Sierra, call sign, Kilowatt, India, 0, Alpha, Romeo. You've got the last part of the net, which is the question and answer. Hopefully you've been listening in for a bit and enjoying the net as well. But I always like to touch base with my first time check-ins, find out what your interest background in astronomy, whether you're starting out or you've been doing it for decades, something like that. Brian, W0HOF, please share with us what your interest background in astronomy. Go ahead.
This is Whiskey Zero Hotel Oscar Foxtrot. I'm just getting into it, trying to learn more about it. I got two young kids and something that piques my interest.
All right, Brian, again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Stick around. Do appreciate that. Yeah, this is definitely a learning net, and I learn something new every time I give it. So, and I've been doing it for 29 years now. So there you go. And hopefully, definitely love when they're sharing astronomy with their kids as well. So sometimes they get on there and have some interesting questions for sure. So they're more than welcome to listen in, and if they've got any questions too, as we go down the list, hopefully everybody will have some questions or comments tonight. Let's see. Let me go ahead, and this is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Now's the time for everyone else to contribute to the net. Questions, comments, observation reports, anything you'd like to pass along to the net, now's the time to do it. Let's see, Rip checked in and out at K3XO. So we'll go down to Moy down in Texas. N5ZIQ. Good evening to you, Moy. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. All right, next on the list is Ken out in Nevada, NB7SS. Good evening to you, Ken. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, good evening there, Bernard. NV7SS here in Indian Springs, Nevada. Well, we're under rainy skies right now, so not much observation going on there. I did get out last night and look at the moon. Man, I wished I had a telescope. I tell you, looking at the half-lit moon there would be fantastic there along the edge of the between the light and the dark there. I've heard it's a pretty good sight to see the mountains show up from the shadows and everything, and I'd like to see that. But telescope, so I guess I'll have to wait to come over to your house and see it sometime. Anyway, Bernice, thanks a lot for being there. I enjoy your net all the time. NB7SS, back to the net. Thanks again for being there, Bernice.
All right, Ken. Yeah, you're welcome anytime. No problems. However, it was completely overcast here in Colorado. So you got to see more of the moon than I did last couple of days. It's kind of rainy season here in Colorado. Good and bad. Good that it's rainy and bad for astronomy wise, but we need the rain, that's for sure. All right, Ken, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Let's see. Next on the list is Dave up in Evergreen, AF0AS. Good evening to you, Dave. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Thanks for the call. Couple things for the net tonight. Just got back from Starbase. I was down there for launch number 9. The loudest, very spectacular launch, and unfortunately, the post-separation events didn't go so well for either the booster or the Starship. But more data was acquired and some more check boxes were filled in. But we're going to be doing it all over again in another month or so, it looks like. For people that are interested, SpaceX released their Making Humanity Interplanetary presentation from Elon on last Friday. Go to SpaceX.com and the links are there. Some pretty interesting numbers on his plans of 5 starships to Mars next year, and then I think 10 in 2 years after that on the next conjunction, and then 100 the conjunction after that, and then 1,000 in 2030. Some very interesting renders of some different concepts, new elevator, new doors, new transporters on the ground, new rovers, a lot of Optimus robots instead of people. So that was interesting. And the other note is SpaceX is well on track to set yet another record this year. They are currently shooting for 160 launches this year, maybe 170. That's up from 134 last year, and they have now done, as of the end of May, 66 launches in 5 months. So slowing down. They're going to get to the point real soon, it looks like, where they're doing a launch every other day. And with that, I'll send it back to you, Bernice. AF0AS clear.
All right, Dave. Thanks for those updates. Yeah, now we're really into the space age. We're launching launching rockets every other day for sure. Quite a feat, and with all the other launches around the world too, definitely. Now we just need to get some colonies and all that kind of stuff, and set foot on different planets for sure. So. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of decades for sure there, Dave. Dave, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Nick out in Meeker, KF0OOQ. Good evening to you, Nick. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Next on the list is Tom out in Parker, KF0UIW. Good evening to you, Tom. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Good evening, KF0UIW, Tom and Parker. I just want to thank everybody. I'm very new to this ham radio stuff, and I have a bunch of kids in the 5. I always wanted to start to get old enough where they're in school learning math and different physics and chemistry, but don't really know how to apply it. So on the reviews, I've got kids coming this way. So I have my school going listening right now. And doing things like looking at Starlink or something from our jet. Like it's a nice house where we can see all that. So this is going to be something out point where we can go online and then look up, okay, where's the space station tonight from our jet. So getting into this, appreciate all the help, and KF0UIW.net.
All right, Tom. Thanks for that. Again, welcome. If you've got kids, junior high, high school age students interested in this kind of stuff, you may want to check out our group, the IAAS, the International Association for Astronomical Studies. Check out the website, www.iaas.org. You got a whole bunch of projects going on, including projects for NASA and Stanford and things like that, and they're interested in rocketry and aerospace and flying airplanes and applying that physics that they're learning, and radio and things like that. And this is run by the students. And so if you are interested, or they are interested, definitely check them out. You can, let's see, what else? Yeah, more than welcome to come out to our meetings on Friday evenings from 6 until 8 p.m. Out in Strasbourg. You can actually Google Google us for the location, and you can see the our work center and the observational observatory that's still under construction, and a radio astronomy building out there too. If you zoom in, you may be able to see some of the antennas out there as well. So check that out, or if stick around after the net, and I can talk to you more about that as well. Tom, again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Let's see, Graham out in Scotland checked in and out. So we'll go to Ed in Broomfield. W6RDZ. Good evening to you, Ed. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
This is W6RDZ. What I've got for the net is sincere apologies for the open mic. I am not a fan of echo wing. Push the talk switch doesn't work like a push the talk switch, and it got me again tonight. Well, so my apologies. Hope I didn't waste too much of your time. Hope you enjoyed the rocket report. I enjoyed your bulletins. That's really all I've got. Thanks there to our update from, what am I trying to say? Starbase. So that's cool that you get down there and get to see those launches. Keep us posted. I appreciate your report. That's all I've got. W6RDZ, back to net.
All right, Ed, no worries. At least now I figured out how to kill it. Since I know your number, I figured, I'll give you a call. I didn't know what platform you were using, but when I gave you a call, it disconnected from Echolink. So that worked. So I'll remember that next time if I hear you in the background. We tried giving you a shout, but you weren't listening. So, I did give you a call, and that disconnected you from Echolink. I'm glad I knew your number. I don't know too many other people's numbers that are on Echolink, but that worked. But no worries. Ed, appreciate you supplying the rocket report as always, and it is published to the website. So there you go. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list tonight is Zainal. I think I'm pronouncing that pretty close. Zainal, out in Malaysia. 9W2ZSH. Welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net again. Zainal, what have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Roger, first of all, thank you very much again for picking on, and then it was quite a good learning experience. Thank you very much. This is new to me. See, I'm a new kid on the block, not the singer. Hi. Very interesting, and I appreciate it. And I was listening, all the report and everything, so that was very good. And I hope I can join again. Next week and, whenever we have the net. I'm working from home, so but very much I have my radio by my side and listening to the net. This is my first time. So thank you very much again. Great net. So thank you. KI0AR. This is Nano Whiskey to the Hotel. Thanks for that. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Zainal, again, welcome to the net. I do appreciate you checking in from halfway around the world. And like I said earlier, astronomy works just as well on that side of the planet as it does on this side. You just have to wait a little longer until the sun sets on your side to see. And occasionally we talk about the sun as well. So you'll have to wait till the next day. But you're already into next day. You're already into tomorrow. We're still into yesterday there. But glad we can keep you company while you're working from home there. It does make it nice when you have that. I retired 2 years ago, so it was nice to have the radio here and listening in occasionally as well. So I was doing that sometimes. Other times I was working and didn't need the distraction. But nice to be able to just listen in, and I do appreciate that. Hopefully, and any questions you have in the future, for sure, don't hesitate to we'll be here, and so we'll look forward to having you join us on a weekly basis. That's for sure. Next on the list, Zeno, appreciate your comments, appreciate you checking in tonight. Again, welcome to the net. Next on the list is Alton, Georgia, W4ATY. Good evening to Alton. Let's see. Now that I got you here, hopefully, what have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Roy up in Oregon, KI7PKL. Good evening to you, Roy. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Hey, well, good evening, Bruce. And hey, it's clear skies here the last couple nights here. So, anyway, last night I just could not connect to the computer on the telescope. I don't know, some weird thing going on. I would think that a solar storm would affect Wi-Fi on the night side, but I don't know. Anyway, didn't get very far with the telescope. Also, was out looking for the aurora because there was a possibility we might see aurora here, this far south. Anyway, didn't see the aurora, and I took some images and hoping maybe it would show up in there, but no such luck. Anyway, hoping to do some more tinkering tonight with the telescope once we get started, and hey, we'll see what happens. Yeah, it sounds BKL. Back to you.
All right, Roy, appreciate your comments, appreciate you checking in tonight. Just to let you know, I like that Trifid Nebula. That's one of my favorites. I like that Trifid Nebula image, so I posted that in this month's newsletter, so thanks for that. Yeah, and thanks for reminding me on the solar activity. We're just still, and I forgot to talk about this a little bit, so I'll go ahead and do that. This little item from spaceweather.com. Day number 3 of the geomagnetic storm. Earth's magnetic field is still reverberating from the June 1st impact of a fast halo CME, or coronal mass ejection. The severe G4 geomagnetic storm that occurred just after the CME arrived has subsided, but lesser storms, G1, G2, are still underway on June 3rd. High latitude sky watchers should remain alert for auroras. So there you go. Yeah, they got a picture of a guy in Tacoma looking at some of the auroral activity. So there you go. So that still might occur. So a big CME. That causes a lot of problems there, as we well know, Roy. So even radio-wise too, hear the bands perk up and drop out for no particular reason. Well, that's probably the reason. Is all the solar activity we've been having lately. So this is one of the bigger ones of this particular solar cycle 25. So there you go. Roy, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR, Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Dale N5LIG. Good evening to Dale. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, Dale, glad you're taking a look at the website. Yeah, I got a bunch of good information there. And a bunch of links with a lot of extra information too. Another expensive hobby to get into along with radio. It's the initial outlays that get you, and then all the little incidentals that pop up over the years, things like that. But definitely fun, radio-wise, and radio-wise. Of course, amateur radio is definitely fun, and astronomy as well. You can get as much as you want to put into it for sure. Do appreciate you checking in tonight, and glad you're learning. Glad you're learning. We're all learning too, for sure. So, all right, Dale. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. Next on the list is, let's see, is James. Let's see, that's a new call on the list. Let's see. Yeah, okay, I forgot to put that down. We'll see if you're on the radio, James. I knew you were out there listening on YouTube, so appreciate that. Hopefully you're still there. Actually, I just see me participating there. All right. We'll see how this YouTube thing goes. See if I can get better at it over the years, over the months, weeks, months. I should say start off with weeks and then months, and we'll see how it goes. But I do appreciate him checking in via YouTube from North Carolina there. Next on the list is John, W2JLS. Good evening to you, John. Up in Ohio. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Well, good evening on your ears there, Barnett, to you and the listeners. Good to be here tonight listening in. It's been a great week up here in Northeast Ohio. The weekend was lovely. Weather-wise, it's improved here. The last couple of days, really sunny and warm and pleasant. It's a very pleasant time of the year here in Northeast Ohio. Yeah, the sun's been going crazy in a lot of different ways. I have not spotted the aurora at all. I've tried a couple of times, but I just am too close to the city lights of Akron and Cleveland. I think I need to get out into the sticks a little bit to probably get a shot at it. I was also going to mention I happened into a neat, it's a NASA handbook. In my wanderings online, I'll sometimes go digging for PDF files to read, and I happened into a cool one relative to it's called NASA Handbook of Radio Wave Propagation, Handbook for Communication on and Around Mars. I put a link into the blue screen in the AIM window, but anyone that's listening that's interested, that's not with the window open, look it up. It's Radio Wave Propagation Handbook for Communication on and Around Mars. A lot of interesting stuff in there. You forget how much we've actually done on that planet. Lots of data, lots of learning, and there's an awful lot that we know about how signals propagate there. And being that a lot of the radio listeners here are ham amateurs, I think there are probably more than a couple that might find that interesting. So I'm pretty sure you would. W2JLS, back to that. Thanks for having me, Ernest.
All right, John, do appreciate that. Yeah, I clicked on that link, and it didn't pull up in Safari, but it did pull up in my Google Chrome. So be careful with that. I don't know why it didn't pull up in Safari. It gave me a weird response. What response did it say? This connection is not private, blah, blah, blah. So some state, let's see, impersonating to steal your personal identity. One of those weird one of those weird links, but it pulled up fine in Chrome. So just I guess take that. It looked like it came up fine in Chrome as a PDF, and definitely looks interesting there. I'll have to have to look through it. It's a nice short book. Actually, it's getting longer and longer. There you go, 116 pages. There you go. All right, John, appreciate you sharing that with us. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. Next on the list is Donald out in Longmont, W0DPC. Good evening to you, Donald. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Sam out in Hawaii, KH6HAM. Congrats on the call there, Sam. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. Okay, next on the list is Brian out in Thornton, W0HOF. Good evening to you, Brian. Again, welcome to the Colorado Astronomy Net. What have you got for us tonight? Go ahead. All right, next on the list is Stan, VE3PSE. We got you checked in. Stan, what have you got for us tonight? Go ahead.
Okay, good evening, Bernard, and everybody on frequency. Great net. I was looking at your newsletter for June. It was fantastic. As always, beautiful references and things like that just get me wanting to get out there and look at the sky again. We've got a few dark sky preserves around Sudbury, Canada, Manitoulin Island. It's one of the biggest freshwater islands in the world on Lake Huron. And they have pushed to have a dark sky preserve there, and also Killarney Provincial Park, not too far from there. So we've got a few that are within maybe an hour or two of Sudbury. Looking forward to getting out to those this summer. We found some really cold weather in May. A lot of frost. Really different May. I was able to get that document, the PDF on Radio on Mars. That's fascinating. That is really neat. Thanks so much for giving us that link. I was able to get it on Chrome, but like you, I wasn't able to get it on Firefox. So that was interesting. That was really interesting, actually. And then also, I found an article on Scientific American talking about our Sudbury Basin here and the comet. Remember last week we were talking about it. They've decided they believe it's a comet that hit Sudbury, not a meteorite. It's the second largest impact crater in the world, apparently. But there's a good article in Scientific American talking a little bit about why that happened. But I wonder, Bernard, if you could explain again, what's the percentage of comets to meteorites? I was really shocked when I learned that about that. So this is Victor Echo 3 Papa Sierra Echo in Sudbury, Canada, about 5 hours north of Toronto. Back to you, sir. Back to net control.
With the comets, they leave obviously trails of dust behind them. And from those dust particles, we do travel through those dust clouds, Halley's Comet and various other comets that have left their debris. Uh, uh, it's interesting that we pass through those dust clouds every year annually, and we haven't really run into those comets, at least not lately. But yeah, meteor showers are usually associated with a particular comet, and um, so it's the debris that's left over. Um, the debris trails as we see comets up in the sky leaving their trails. We're passing through all of that dust cloud that's behind it, and those clouds spread over space, dissipate over the years, decades, or centuries. Some are quite prevalent. There's some that pass through our solar system on a regular basis, and then we pass through the heavier parts of those. Which is it? Is it the Leonids? We get the cometary storms when we pass through that trail. Not That's like every 33 years we pass through the heavy part. Those storms are just incredible when you see in 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 meteors per second, thousands of them, all that dust debris through. I don't know if I answered your question there, Stan, but hopefully you get the idea. I'm not sure I got the question exactly right, but hopefully that answered some of it.
Okay, yeah, I guess I was wondering, what maybe approximately, like, are there more meteorite impacts than comet impacts, or are there more comet impacts than meteorite impacts on planet Earth, and maybe even on the moon? I wonder, it's really kind of, I never, before I heard this, I never really even thought that, sort of, an impact crater could be caused by anything but a meteorite. So I was just wondering if you thought more comets or more meteorites cause impact craters. That control.
This is speculation on my part, but I think we both have to look that up. But I would assume that most of the meteors or meteorite impacts are from cometary debris. So, not necessarily the comets themselves, but definitely the debris from comets, all of that stuff. If there's any big chunks that fly off of the comets that end up uh, making it to Earth, usually, most meteors are not much bigger than a grain of sand. If you get them, like pea gravel, anything that size or larger, um, yeah, that's pretty rare, and you can get into the fireball and the bolide range, even the pea gravel stuff, or the stuff that's not, the size of a pea or larger. Those tend to break up and leave tremendous streaks across the sky, while most meteors are dust specks traveling at hundreds of thousands of miles, 30,000 to 40, 50, 100,000 miles per hour when they hit the Earth's atmosphere and burn up quickly or very slowly, depending on. Some of them are pretty slow, but yeah, the bigger ones, more than likely, the stuff that impact and leave craters, probably more from asteroid collisions than anything else that are leaving craters. But your meteor activity is definitely from cometary debris, at least at this point in the Earth's 4.5 billion year lifetime.
Okay, got it. Okay, thanks very much, Bernard. Much appreciated. Yeah, okay, now I understand. I see what you mean about that because often, yeah, I don't think about the debris field that gets left behind. That's really interesting. Okay, 7-3 to everybody on frequency. Thanks very much for running the net. Really enjoyable. Have a great week. Victor Echo 3, Papa Sierra Echo, back to net control.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, Stan. Think of it this way. A comet being an icy dump truck filled with sand. And that sand is just trickling out slowly as if it tilted up just a teeny bit, and that sand is trailing out as the dump truck is driving along. There's thousands, millions of little sand particles traveling that one dump truck, and the dump truck is the comet. That's how I kind of think of it. And you can go with that. And sometimes the sand is a little bit larger in some respects, or a little bit smaller. Dust to gravel. Kind of a mixture. But along with that is ice, water ice, carbon dioxide ice. Comet is a dirty snowball for the most part. So comets striking the Earth will more than likely, or at least Earth's atmosphere will probably burn up or disintegrate, just turn into steam. But that explosion would definitely possibly leave a crater. As far as that's concerned, but also it's speculated that comets could have added all the water that we see in the oceans. May or may not. Who knows? I wasn't around 3 billion years ago. All right. That's all I got. Stan, appreciate the question. Appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. This is KI0AR Net Control for the Colorado Astronomy Net. We are at the bottom of the list. Got a few more minutes, so I'll go ahead and open up the net. Anybody else? Questions, comments, late check-ins. If you are a late check-in, please call with your call sign phonetically twice. Questions, comments, late check-ins. Please call KI0AR now.
W2JLS, recheck.
IK2 LTA.
All right, John, hold on a sec. I got a 2 Delta Yankee. I do believe, at least it was a bit clipped. If you could give me your call, sir, I'll get you properly checked into the net tonight. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I should say something before the call sign. Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee VK2GY.
Hey, Robert from Down Under. We got you on the list. Thanks for that. I'll get back to you in just a sec. John, W2JLS, what you got go ahead.
W2JLS returning. Yeah, thanks for taking me back there, Ernest, and sorry to the other gentleman who need to jump in front of him. Just wanted to thank Stanley for the link anyone's interested, maybe next week, rather than hogging the mic tonight. But to JLS, passing it back.
All right, John. Yeah, AI. Yeah, I'm retired now, so I'm not doing too much. But I guess in my past life, I guess a lot of what they were calling AI back in its infancy during the Star Wars, the SDI. Space Defense Initiative, Reagan's SDI program. We're getting worked a little bit with that on one of the projects when I was working for Lockheed Martin. Just getting into that in the late 80s for sure, mid to late 80s, when AI was in its infancy and probably had a slightly different definition than it does now. But that was my foray into it. But I'm not doing anything with AI at this point, but I don't know about anybody else. But John, but right now I want to touch base with Robert down in Australia. VK2DY. Good evening to you, Robert. What have you got for the net tonight? Go ahead.
Good afternoon. This is Robert Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee in northwestern Sydney. 12:55 p.m. It's Wednesday. Oh wow, it is Wednesday. Time flies. Anyway, we are 4 days officially into winter here. I think I've mentioned this before. We use the meteorological reckoning for seasons, and we are having winter weather here. But winter weather for Sydney, so it's 13, 14 degrees right now, I think, which is 57 Fahrenheit, and that's about all we're going to get. That is a winter high. That is a definite winter high, and by Friday we're supposed to get down very close to freezing, which is the coldest we ever get here. So definitely feeling like winter down here. Unfortunately, I haven't had much astronomical observations. If you've been watching our weather, you've noticed that we have had a tremendous amount of rain down here in the Sydney and New South Wales area here because flooding and all sorts of other stuff going on here. So it's been a very, very wet end of autumn, beginning of winter, and the sky's just been cloudy every night practically. So no observations. But people who are outside of us have had some really good viewing of the southern lights, especially down in Victoria, especially down in Tasmania. The southern lights, the auroras, have been really, really active this year. And people even here in Sydney on a clear night have been able to hold up their phone and see remnants of the auroras. So it's been a really strong sense of the southern lights this last couple days. But I guess that's all going to pass too in a few days. But anyway, nothing to report. I really want to get my Dwarf 2 back out and start playing with it again, but I need clear skies. Give me clear skies. VK2DY. Back to
Robert, you may as well move to Denver. The high today was 55 here in Denver, 55 degrees Fahrenheit. So, and it's only supposed to get up to like 65 degrees Fahrenheit tomorrow. So, what is that? 13, 14, 15, 16 degrees Celsius or somewhere in there. So yeah, we have the same rain that you do. It's been very wet for the month of May as well. So we're getting your southern hemisphere winter here, even though it's we'll start summer. We'll start officially summer on the 20th or 21st. But Robert, you are not alone in that respect. We need some clear skies so we can get those scopes and those warp 2s out and play with them for sure. So it's interesting that down under's got the same weather as here in Denver. Interesting for sure. Robert, appreciate your comments. Appreciate you checking in tonight. And let me see. Let me post to the net before we. Is anybody playing with AI astronomy-wise or some other way, even if it is in your work or what have you, right now? If you are, please call KI0AR now. All right, John, I'm not even hearing any crickets there. All right, John, so don't know. Don't know who's playing with AI at this point. So yeah, mine was 40 years ago or thereabouts.
Victor Echo 3 Pop.
Go ahead, Stan.
Oh yeah, Victor Echo 3 Pop. Victor Echo here. Yeah, I've been noticing it sneaking into my Google searches, the AI, and coming up with some pretty good answers. I know about 6 months ago, though, I found the answers were not great. I remember asking, is it possible to pick up Jupiter radio signals with a car radio, and the AI answered that yes, it was possible. And I thought, I think it did have a caveat in there that if you had a proper radio, but I think I had asked the standard AM/FM radio, and it came back with an answer saying yes. I know some cars, very rare though, would have shortwave radios in them, but I thought that was my first delving into that, and I thought, oh, maybe. And so now, very, very quickly, it seems to be becoming more and more accurate when you ask those types of questions. Google will pop up with an AI answer at the beginning, and I have used it for some astronomical things. And the answer you can sort of tell. I mean, if it doesn't make any sense, you pick up on it pretty quick. But if it makes sense, then you think, oh wow, it's starting to pull data together and infer things and that type of thing. Like tonight, when I quickly asked about the Sudbury comet, the AI popped up and gave a sort of an intelligible answer. So yeah, I was really impressed with that. Thanks, John, for sending that article from NASA on the geology of Sudbury. Wow, I recognize some geological structures and names in there. And the Apollo astronauts that come here, they were really celebrities. Okay, Victor Echo 3 Papa Sierra Echo, back to you, sir. Back to net control.
All right, Stan. Appreciate you. Appreciate you sharing that with us. Yeah. I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of us are getting intro to AI through some of the searches. I haven't really noticed that, but yeah, I'm sure that's what's exactly is happening. I think mine was more on the actual development side of it with the kinetic energy weapon. That should tell you something for Star Wars. They turned it into brilliant pebbles and how we were applying AI to that type of technology that never did get launched, but definitely we're looking into it. But neat stuff, especially if you're getting into it. I'm finding a lot of articles in the IEEE magazine as well on how we're applying AI and what it can do for you, stuff like that. So it's definitely branched out over the years. All right. We're all a little bit past 9, so I'm just going to go ahead and close the net for this evening. Had a bunch of new calls on there, so I do appreciate that. So welcome to all of those new calls that are still hanging around. I do appreciate that. I don't see them on net longer there, but I know you're out there. I know you're out there, so I do appreciate that. I usually stick around after the net just to kind of monitor, even though I do clear. So if anybody's got any questions afterwards, definitely you can give me a shout. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and close the net. I'd like to thank the 19 check-ins for checking in tonight. Hopefully, we'll hear from everybody next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 100 Zulu. Wednesday for another session of the Colorado Astronomy Net. I'd like to thank the Rocky Mountain Radio League for the use of their repeater system. Also like to thank the Skyhub Link group for the use of their systems as well, getting all the repeaters and echo links and all-star nodes and analog and digital nodes all hooked up so we can talk around the world. 4 different countries, 5 if you want to include the U.S. I think they include Hawaii as a DX as well. So we've got Australia, Canada, Hawaii, U.S., Malaysia, Scotland. So, great international turnout tonight, so do appreciate that. With that, I will say 73 and keep looking up. This is KI0AR. I'm clear.